PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to this week's show. We're excited to bring you some great stories from our towns. We'll visit a new indoor golf business in Pembroke, drop in on a black tie fundraiser in Duxbury, and hear about a valuable home program for families in Plymouth.
That's right, Julie. We also visit a well-attended meal preparation event in support of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Our arts and entertainment correspondent gives us some ideas to keep warm and busy this winter. Also, Town Talk takes us to Duxbury Town Hall.
It's going to be a full show, and we begin at the Kingston Collection for a popular gaming tournament. The kids are into magic these days, adults too, and it's not that rabbit out of the hat magic either. It's a fantasy-based card game, and it's got a major following. Imagine Dungeons and Dragons combined with high-stakes poker. PCN stopped into the medieval starship at the Kingston Collection to get a glimpse at one of their tournaments.
Jesse Howard, you face Jared Farmer. And Jonah faces off against Mike Devlin.
We're having a pre-release for a Magic tournament. Now, Magic is a competitive card game, and today is the first time the players behind me are having the opportunity to see and actually play with these new cards.
Walk with the rat.
At the start of today's tournament, they were handed 6 packs of this new set that they haven't seen, opened it for the first time, and now are becoming familiar with the cards and putting them together into a deck that they feel will be competitive.
So I've been playing the game maybe about 15 to 17 years. It's been so long. I played from pretty much the beginning of Magic when it was such a small game to now when it's such a large industry. The number of players that I've seen come and go has been very diverse.
This game is popular with many age groups. We probably have players going down as young as 10 years old and people as ancient as I am. But having said that, they play competitively against each other in the same tournaments, and the young people are just as likely to beat the older as the reverse.
What I see is that it allows a whole different set of people to get together that enjoy a great strategy game, a great game of chance, not exactly poker, because you're not supposed to be gambling, but it allows that randomness where everybody has a chance to win on any given day.
This is what's called a Swiss tournament, meaning that it's not an elimination tournament where if they lose, they're automatically out of the tournament. In this style, they stay and play the entire tournament. And each round they're matched up with a person that has collected a record similar to theirs. So if they lose the first round, they'll be matched up against a person that also lost the first round. If they won, they'll be matched up against a winner. In this case, there's going to be 5 rounds. And at the end of it, we'll declare a winner. This is a game that you actually sit down across the dining room table from another human being and play and socialize with, which is something, a lot of folks need.
If you're a golfer, let me ask you this. When was the last time you hit the links? Probably wasn't this past week with 2 feet of snow on the ground. Anyway, around here, the last time was, say, maybe early October. So what happens to your swing in the off-season? PCN's own Brian Sullivan found a place in Pembroke where you can not only keep your swing healthy, but also play 18 holes indoors. Brian stopped in to try it himself and really hit the ground running.
The problem with being a golfer here on the South Shore is that we have all 4 seasons, and the cold ones seem to last longer than the warm ones. Local entrepreneurs Dave Laney and Julie Obregon decided to do something about it. By opening the iGolf Virtual Golf Center in Pembroke, they've created an oasis for the weather-weary New England golfer.
When David approached me with this business model, I was a little reluctant because I'm not a big golfer, but We put it together, and it's really going well. I've actually been golfing in the bays myself, and it's a lot of fun. You don't even have to know how to golf.
For Dave Laney, Pembroke was a perfect fit for this business venture.
What we liked about Pembroke is we're located right off the highway, and there's a good sense of community here. And when we started talking to the town about the business, they were really excited about us coming here. You know, they were looking forward to this type of business coming to the town. And talking to the local people, you know, they were excited about it too. We kept hearing, you know, we need a place like this. So it was good to come to a community that welcomed us.
Tucked away in an office park off of Corporate Park Drive, people are often surprised at the size of the facility when they step inside and see the 4,000 square foot indoor golf center.
We have 5 simulator bays where you can golf. You actually use real golf clubs and golf balls. In each bay, we have countertops, we have seating, bag racks, coat racks. Each bay has its own television. We have the top of the line HD simulators right now.
Not to mention a putting green, a licensed bar for when you're done walking the 18 virtual holes, and of course a disco ball for when you want to take off the golf spikes and put on your dancing shoes.
Everything in this facility is brand new from the ground up.
Well, what got us started on this project was, you know, we love to golf. Everybody loves to golf. A business like this gives people the opportunity of different levels to come and play together. And not just for adults, but also for kids too. You know, it's nice to have a place where parents can drop off their kids, do something productive, and enjoy themselves and feel safe.
And to shake off the winter rust, you can take some practice swings in one of the bays with a pro.
It's frustrating for golfers to practice all summer long, and then the winter season comes and you can no longer play again. So when the springtime and summer rolls around, you're spending that time, you know, getting your swing back. It's like you're learning to play all over again. So now, you know, we have the opportunity to keep getting better all winter long.
In the practice bay, the system actually photographs you and you can play it back to see what you did right, or in my case, everything that you did wrong. You know what's funny is it actually gets worse each time. With swings like those, thank goodness for the 19th hole. Keep them coming. Reporting from Pembroke, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News.
You know, that is excellent, to be able to go indoors and not have everybody look at you as you're trying to learn how to do this. And what a fun thing.
It is. It looks like a fun thing. And Brian almost looked like he was playing baseball, though.
Yes,
I mean, let's face it. It looked like he was swinging at the ball.
And then, of course, he had to finish up with his couple of cocktails that weren't really cocktails.
That's Brian for you. That's for sure.
Okay. Plymouth Family Network is a Plymouth parent education program that provides support to families through playgroups, literacy activities, workshops, and resources. The group recently was awarded additional funds for their parent-child home visiting program. This program is free for families with toddlers who then receive in-home parenting help from trained visitors. PCN met up with a local family to see the program in action.
Does Karina wear bows? No, headbands.
The Parent-Child Home program is an early literacy program that brings free toys and books into the homes of people with 15-month-old to 4-year-old children. The toys and books stay in the home at no cost. We model how to play and read educationally for the parents and the child together. It lasts for 23 sessions, 23 books and toys combination per year. It's hopefully a 2-year program. And it promotes school readiness, vocabulary, speech, introduces concepts and strategies for play. So when the children approach the school age, they have a pretty good understanding of shapes, colors, words such as stop and go, in and out, and an introduction to simple math concepts and the alphabet.
They done a lot for me because I had my other daughter on, and she couldn't speak very well. After the program, she was like, her language, it was much better. She couldn't understand, and it was very good for us. They come with 1 week, they bring a book, and they read the book for 2 days, and the next week they bring a toy. It's always like a learning toys, and they play for 30 minutes with the kid.
The Plymouth Family Network is a program of the Plymouth Public Schools, and we're very excited to be expanding our Parent-Child Home program. We just received additional funding from the state, and we're working very hard to identify families to support with this program.
My daughter didn't have much interest into puzzles or like blocks. After the program, Miss Judy brought blocks and puzzles. She loves it now. Play with puzzles, books, all the learning.
Right now we're trying to reach out to families that may not be involved in other programs. That's our goal. It's hard to reach parents that are in outlying areas such as South Plymouth because there's not a lot of business out there. Isolation is a big problem here in Plymouth. So those are the families we're trying to reach.
We're excited to be really reaching out, Manomet, South Plymouth, because we come to the home. Folks don't have to have a car, they don't have to have transportation. So it's something that we can really, anyone can do. If you have a child 15 months to 4 years old, we'd be happy to come and talk to you about the program. Outreach is what we're all about right now.
It's a bunny.
If you're one of the thousands of residents to lose your power recently, then you know what it's like not to have heat in your house. Just one day without heat in the New England winter can feel like a month. Now imagine not having heat because you can't afford the fuel to heat your home. This is a reality for many here on the South Shore, and the folks at the Duxbury Council on Aging have done something about it. Teaming up with the Duxbury Interfaith Council to raise money for fuel assistance for Duxbury residents, the Council on Aging held its annual Black Tie Bingo fundraiser, and PCN stopped in.
Tonight we're having a Black Tie Bingo event. This idea came up 4 years ago by a board member. We wanted to give something back to the community, and we thought, oh, we'll do a potluck dinner, and someone said, let's do bingo. That's what people think the senior center is all about. Little did they know we upscaled it, and we made a black tie bingo event. And every year we raise between $12,000 and $15,000 and help our neighbors and friends stay warm.
Tonight we're here at the Duxbury Senior Center fundraising for fuel assistance, sponsored by the Duxbury Council on Aging. We partner, I'm part of the Duxbury Interfaith Council, and we partner with the Senior Center and the Council on Aging in helping distribute the funds that are raised to those that might be in need for fuel assistance. We've helped a number of people the last several years, and every year this is probably the biggest fundraiser to help this program for fuel assistance. And so we're grateful to be a part of it.
N43. N34.
In January, earlier, I got a call from a lady in Indiana, and her father was almost without fuel. What was she going to do? He didn't have any money, and we made a call and got him fuel. We got a lovely thank you note from her saying how much it meant. And that's what it's all about.
Many people are wearing dressed up. It's an idea just to dress up and be out on the town and have some fun playing bingo. There are some door prizes for the various games, people winning baskets that have been donated, other prizes that help just defray the costs of the night. But all the gifts are used for a purpose of helping raise money.
I am so thankful to the community. Every prize was donated. We didn't buy one gift that will be given out tonight. All the funds all the tickets that are purchased goes right to the Interfaith Council. It's so fun to get dressed up, and our committee is just amazing. Everyone pitched in, many hands made light work, and it's a great event.
The first annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service was held in January at Zion Lutheran Church in Plymouth. The event was sponsored by Plymouth Youth in Action and the Plymouth Interfaith Clergy Association, along with End Hunger New England. The plan was to address food scarcity in the area by working together preparing 48,000 nutrient-dense meals for families in need. PCN stopped in to bring you the full story.
This is the first annual Martin Luther King Annual Day of Service. It is a service event, obviously. We're examining what we've been doing around honoring King in the past, which had generally been a breakfast and some kind of speaker. And we felt it would be more engaging, particularly for young people, if we had something that was hands-on. So we looked into this food packaging with End Hunger New England, and that's what we chose to do. But the bulk of the participants are here. They've been packing all this food. We're aiming for 40,000 meals. It's macaroni and cheese, and it takes about 10 people on a line working together to put the food in the bags, weigh it, seal it, get it into boxes, where it will be taken to food pantries, all staying locally. And this feels like a way that we can make a difference in the community and do something to honor Dr. King, who said that service is such an important part of life.
Because we have a tendency sometimes to not think that people are hungry, even right here in our state, right here in the city of, in the town of Plymouth, that there are people who are still hungry. And certainly that touches my heart, that we're doing something, and not only that, but that all ages, people of all ages are here, especially children. And children need to see those of us who are adults doing things, and they see this, and I think it'll make a difference. And I think traditionally it will make a difference as well, that they will develop a tradition of reaching out and touching, not just on this holiday, but at all times, that they will think about those who are hungry, those who are being abused, those who have lost rights, have no rights, etc. We need to, think about our own blessings. So that this day means that much to me in terms of thinking about how we're blessed, that we don't have to get bags with grains, but we have our food, but we need to be showing our children how, to reach out to others who are in need.
So End Hunger NE started 3.5 years ago as a dream, that we would have no hungry kids around here. I was a pastor up in Quincy at the time. I found out that 1 out of every 4 kids in our country was hungry. And around here, it was 20,000 kids just in this county. So I started traveling around working with groups. This is actually event number 386. And right now we're at the 35th biggest event ever, because so many groups have given funds, given volunteers. All the meals are going to local pantries right around here, where the need is great. I've worked in 119 counties throughout the Northeast now, and Plymouth County has packaged more meals than anyone else, almost 500,000. They stay local. Most of our meals go right down to the Greater Plymouth Food Bank, and they distribute to folks all over the South Shore who need food now. Little kids, elderly folks, people that just do not have nutrition in their lives, and they need that. What a lot of people don't know about what we do is there's more hungry people, especially little American children. 1 out of every 4 or 5 now, I can finally say, is hungry. That's 22%. In the world, 1 out of 9 is hungry. That's 11%. There's more hungry kids here than overseas on average. People don't understand that. What they also don't know is that we can feed 4 kids for $1. It's the most nutritious meal they've ever eaten. Every one of these volunteers, for every hour they're here, will feed 160 hungry kids themselves. So when you put all those little efforts together, $1 here, $10, $100, one person, a dozen, dozens of people coming to help, that all adds up to a huge event like this. And we're able to stock those pantries. They're in need all the time, because if we do 45,000 meals today, that'll feed every hungry person in this county 1 meal. That's how many hungry people there are.
That certainly is an uplifting story. Our Town Talk segment takes it to Duxbury this week for a winter update.
Hi there, I'm Rainey Reed, the town manager for the town of Duxbury. I wanted to provide the viewers with a little bit of an update as to what's going on here in town. For the last several months, the town has been involved in the budget review process for the FY16 budget. At this point, the Finance Committee has reviewed the budget and voted on it, and it's a roughly $70 million budget for the coming year. The Finance Committee is also currently in the process of reviewing the articles for the warrant. The Board of Selectmen closed the warrant on December 15th, and they will be in the process in the coming weeks of also reviewing the warrant articles. Currently we have approximately 40 to 42 articles that will be on the warrant. A couple of those highlighted articles that might be of interest to the viewers. The CPC is looking for funding to do a restoration of iron fencing at the Mayflower Cemetery, which in the coming years will be of great benefit to the town, because the town recently created a Friends of Plymouth 400 committee to assist the town of Plymouth with their preparations and plans for the 400th celebration of the incorporation of Plymouth. We know that we expect a lot of visitors here, not just in Plymouth, but of course in Duxbury, and they're saying that we could see an average of 1 million to 1.5 million people coming through town over the course of that year. So we want to try and be able to accommodate those visitors when they arrive. And one of the things we'd like to do is certainly spruce up the place, and one of the things that we could do is have CPC funding go toward restoration of the fencing at the cemetery, since many of the original inhabitants of the Plymouth colony are interred there. Also, we have a measure to consider funding electronic voting. Last year at town meeting, for the first time, we tried electronic balloting, which is a handheld device that allowed the voters to confidentially vote. They didn't have to raise their hands, and some people liked it. So we're going to take a look at that and see if the voters would like to continue that practice. We will be doing that again this year, the electronic voting aspect, but this year we're going to think about whether we want to lease the equipment ourselves and go forward with it in future years. Also, we're going to be seeking funding for an information technology study, which would be eventually the combination of the school side and the town side on their IT resources, to see if we might be able to come up with a better way to save money and better allocate resources over time. So we're going to be looking at that as well. Like I said, there's roughly 40 articles, and we encourage everybody to attend both the annual and special town meeting. And that will be held on Saturday, March 14th at 9 a.m. at the Duxbury Performing Arts Center. Again, we hope everybody can attend, and that's pretty much my update this time. Thank you very much for watching.
This week, we have arts and entertainment reporter Maureen Bates on set with us.
Hi,
Welcome.
Julie.
Hi. And you're going to bring us some hands-on historical crafting.
That is correct.
Take it away, Maureen.
If you enjoy craftsmanship and fancy yourself a historian, then you must plan a trip to Plymouth Plantation's fully renovated craft center this spring. Last February, Plymouth Plantation broke ground on a $1.2 million renovation and expansion to the Living Histories Museum Craft Center. In September, they celebrated their grand opening as well as unveiled the Plymouth Bread Company. The expanded craft center now allows for better traffic control and expanded room for the artisans to work and interact with the guests. The facility has an outdoor pavilion that will house performances as well as demonstrations of the various crafts. To support the mission of the Living Histories Museum, all the crafts are recreated using 17th century techniques and the same materials used by the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people themselves. Crafts include hearthside cooking, bread making, coil pottery, woodworking, tool making, and much more. Though the plantation does not open fully until March 14th, there are still some great craft workshops available through the next couple of chilly months. For the rest of January, the workshops will include bread making, hearthside cooking, pie making, and a regular knitting club for those needling a little fun. February will have a continuation of the knitting club and more advanced hearthside cooking. Also, in honor of Valentine's Day, you can stop by and learn a little history and make something special to take home for your sweetheart. The full list of times and events are on Plymouth Plantation's website, and be sure to mark your calendars for March 14th. Still intrigued by historical crafts? Plymouth Craft is a new organization committed to teaching and maintaining the tradition of handcraft and restoration. Have you ever carved a spoon or made salt pork? Plymouth Craft has brought together artists of all sorts of traditional trades. They offer workshops where one can learn these trades to carry on the tradition into future generations. The group is on its way to becoming a 501c3 nonprofit and carries a mission of providing historical preservation by using hands-on crafting. It's not just about making stuff. It's about the connection of human effort and fully creating something of use in your life. An observation made by one of the artists: we work more with our fingertips than with our hands these days. In spoon making, you are fully engaged, using your whole hand and mind while carving. Something that our society is sorely lacking in our daily activities. If you are interested in trying out a tradition like spoon carving, blacksmithing, knitting, or splitting logs into boards, which I think I might try. You can find the full list of classes and workshops at plymouthcraft.org. For the Crafty Historian, I'm Maureen Bates, and that is your Winter Arts and Entertainment Preview.
Wow, what a fabulous report. That was so interesting.
I know, who knew, right here in our community.
And the quote that we heard about how nowadays we use our fingertips more than our hands is so true and so relevant. We don't make things, especially historical things, anymore.
Right, and it just goes to show you that certain techniques and technologies can still be relevant nowadays.
Yeah, that was terrific. Thank you so much for bringing us that.
Thanks for having me on, Julie.
All righty. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If you have an idea for a story, please email us or fill out a story form on our website. We're always looking for great ideas.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter, where you will get previews and links to all of our stories.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another edition of PACTV Community News.